Kia ora and welcome. You know, if you've been learning Te Reo Māori for a little while, you might know exactly what I'm talking about. That feeling. You've got the words down, right? You know the words for the land, the sky, the sea. But when you try to string them together into real sentences, it doesn't quite click. Well, today, that's all gonna change. It's such a common place to get stuck. You can name things, you can say hello, but trying to build a proper thought feels like you're working on a puzzle and you're pretty sure you're missing half the pieces. It is so frustrating, and I get it, especially when you really want to share the language with your wanu, with your kids.
And you know what? That feeling is totally valid because you are missing something. But it's not a word you're missing, it's a concept. It's like a master key that unlocks the entire logic of how Maori sentences are built. And trust me, once you see it, you will never be able to unsee it.
All right, let's jump right in. This key we're looking for comes from some really brilliant work by the linguist Patrick Wahanga Hohepa. He gave us a new way to look at sentences, not as just one long, confusing string of words, but as a series of what he called contour words. So just think of them as building blocks. So what exactly is a contour word? Okay, let's forget the academic sounding name for a second. I want you to just picture a single Lego block. That's it. Each block is one complete idea, one chunk of meaning inside the sentence. It could be the child or to the house. The whole sentence is just these blocks, these chunks of meaning sitting next to each other. But how do they connect, right? What actually holds these building blocks together and gives them their meaning? Well, that brings us to the most important piece of this whole puzzle, the initiators. You see, every single one of these contour word blocks kicks off with a small but incredibly powerful little signpost word, and that word is the initiator. Its whole job is to introduce its block and tell you exactly what that chunk of meaning is doing there. Is it the main topic? Is it showing an action? Is it talking about a place? The initiator is the word that tells you. Now, Hohepa sorted these initiators into 4 main groups. And while they're all super useful, let me tell you, the biggest aha moments, the ones that really make the language click, often come from just a handful of words in group 3. So that's what we're going to focus on today. These 5 are absolute game changers. So let's think of these 5 initiators as your brand new toolkit. Once you get what each one does, you'll start to see this hidden structure, this architecture, inside every single sentence. Let's grab our first tool. Okay, our first key is ko. When you see ko at the start of a block, it's like a giant spotlight. It's pointing right at the main subject, the topic of the whole conversation. It basically says, hey, pay attention. This is what we're talking about. For example, have a look at this. Ko aku te tamaiti. Let's say that nice and slow. Ko aku te tamaiti. One more time. Ko aku te tamaiti. That ko points us straight to our topic, aku. The sentence just means aku is the child. See? Simple, right? Next up in our toolkit, we've got eki. Now this initiator is all about relationships and most often direction. You'll usually see it signaling movement towards something, whether it's a place, a person, or even an object. Just think of it as meaning to or at. A really classic example is kite fare. Let's try that one slowly. Kite fare. And again, kite fare. This whole phrase is one of those contour words, a single building block of meaning. It means to the house. From now on, when you see ki, I want you to think direction. All right, our third key is e. Now, this one's called the agent marker. It has one very specific job, to tell you who or what is doing the action in the sentence. It basically translates to by. So if a song was sung, E tells you who sang it. So for instance, the phrase "I te tagata." Let's say that out loud, nice and slow. I te tagata. Again, I te tagata. This block, this contour word, is telling us that the action was done by the man. So if you see E, you've just found the doer. Okay, time for our last 2 keys. And they come as a pair. Na and ma. Now listen up, because this is important. They both have to do with possession, with who owns something. But the crucial difference between them is time. Na is for possession that's already happened or exists now. Think past tense, belonged to. Ma is for possession that's going to happen. Think future tense, will be for. Let's see this in action. It makes it so much clearer. First,
Na te tagata. Let's say it together. Na te gata. This means belonged to the man. It's already his. Now let's compare that to ma te tagata. Listen closely. Ma te tagata. This means for the man. It's intended for him. It's a future thing. That one tiny vowel change completely shifts the meaning from the past to the future. That is a small word with a huge impact.
So there we have it, our 5 keys. But the real question is, how do we use them to actually build sentences and understand what's being said? Well, this is where the real magic happens. Let's put it all together. This quote from Hohepa just sums it up perfectly. Getting fluent isn't about memorizing a million complicated grammar rules. It's about learning how to see these simple, initiator-led blocks and then just stringing them together. You start with 2 blocks, then you add a third, and before you know it, you can build these beautiful, complex sentences with up to 7 parts, all neatly organized by these little signpost words. So, from this day forward, here is your new 4-step game plan. When you look at a Māori sentence, don't see a scary wall of words. First, step 1, see the blocks. Step 2, find the initiator at the beginning of each block. Step 3, remember its job as it pointing to the topic, showing direction, naming the doer. And then step 4, connect the meaning of those blocks together to get the big picture. This is the framework. This is the key you've been looking for. You now have the keys to unlock the beautiful structure of Maori sentences. So the next time you hear Te Reo, maybe on the radio, in a song, or when you're just practicing with your kids, don't just listen for words. Listen for the initiators. Listen for the start of each new block. So my question for you is, which ones are you going to listen for first? Ka kitana.